Hey guys, welcome to my final Operation Arsenal review of the season. Thank God it's over. What a season. So many lows, a couple of highs, and thankfully we finished well. We've won 5 games in a row, and somehow, despite it being arguably the worst season in Premier League history for Arsenal, we were still fighting for European football. Unbelievable. I mean, it wasn't the European football we wanted, the Conference League. But still, the fact that we even had this last day of, that rush, that feeling of we're winning, let's check other results. We were still involved in something after all of this is rather incredible. And we were just minutes away from finishing above Tottenham in 7th place. And as I said, getting the European Conference League, which, to be fair, I'm a little bit torn. I don't know if I wanted that, but I still wanted to finish above Tottenham. Before I go into the game, because it's not really the important thing today, I've got to give, obviously, a massive shout out to Man City for winning the league, and Manchester United had a really solid season, but Liverpool finishing in 3rd is quite remarkable. Yes, it's not good enough considering how good they were last year, but with the injuries, that incredible run of poor form at Anfield, where they lost multiple games in a row, to still finish in 3rd is, well, I wouldn't have believed it if you told me that was going to happen. Chelsea just about scraping through into top 4. Leicester City, man, you just couldn't do it today, could you? Against the biggest bottlers of them all, you just couldn't get the win or a draw. It would have been fantastic to see Arsenal still finish above Tottenham despite having such a poor season. That just shows how bad Tottenham have been, considering they were top of the league in November, I believe it was. And now they have literally scraped 7th place. So close. But credit to them as well. To go to Leicester at the end of the season, FA Cup winners, they're fighting for a top 4 finish to beat them. 4-2 as well. Fair play to Tottenham. But this video isn't really about today's game. I will briefly go through it. We played really well today. It was a good game of football for Arsenal. Brighton are not one of those teams that are easily beaten just because they're Brighton. They do play some good football. They've got some great players in there. If you go through their team, you've got Ben White as a defender. He's a very good young player. They've got Bissouma in midfield as well. He's a general. They've got experienced players like Lallana. I do actually like the Brighton side, and I think Graham Potter is one of the most underrated managers in the league. He should go to Tottenham, in my opinion. I know they're going to probably go for Nuno, who's leaving Wolves. They've had a poor season, but I honestly believe Graham Potter would elevate Tottenham. I really do believe that. I like Brighton. They're my nearest club. I plan on going down to the stadium and watching the fixture against Arsenal next season, should COVID still improve. The whole situation around going to football stadiums, it's a little bit tricky at the moment, especially away games. All in all, it has been an incredible game for Arsenal today because Pepe got 2 goals. Everyone had a decent game. 5 wins in a row. But ultimately, it was not enough. We finish with 61 points. Not bad considering how bad we were through, I want to say October, November, December. It was, for me, the lowest point as an Arsenal fan in a long time. But if you look at the stats since Boxing Day, since Christmas Day, Arsenal have been the 2nd best team in the league, and that says a lot. So what does this mean for Arsenal going into the summer? So you could argue that this is now going to be a reset phase. It's going to be a season with no European distractions. Obviously, I would love Champions League. I'd love Europa League. I didn't want the Conference League, but I probably would have taken it. If I knew that Tottenham were going to get it instead, I would have taken it. But not having those competitions means we can focus on the league and we can focus on maybe a domestic cup win, maybe a League Cup, maybe an FA Cup. We are the masters of the FA Cup. Maybe we can steal it back off Leicester. I honestly believe that this could turn out to be a good thing for Arsenal in the long run. This is going to shake up the club. It's going to cause rifts for sure. There are going to be people that are fired this summer. We've already seen Steve Bold. He's been let go of the under-23s. He was really not having a good season with them after Freddie did such a good job. We're seeing, I think, a lot of changes in the backroom staff that we don't know about as well, because we have massively underperformed. And it just gives us a chance to, as I said, reset. We go again. This summer coming up and the next season is just huge. Absolutely massive. We have to be back in that top 6. And I actually feel like there's no excuse now. Is there an excuse you can think of, Arsenal fans? Not having any European football, not having to spread our squad so thin, playing all of these games. We can do what Chelsea did many seasons ago, and they came back better than ever. You know, they won the league, I believe, after they finished so poorly one season. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to us, but I think potentially, you know, in a year's time, when next season finishes, we should be in a good position, hopefully in the top 6, and with a somewhat rested squad that have had a decent year. You know, that's all I ask for, just a bit of consistency next season and finishing as well as we can in the league. And that's the priority for me. In terms of bringing in players, obviously it's going to be tough without European football to attract the very best. But from what I've heard, it isn't actually having too much of an effect on prospect signings. I think they understand that this is a transition phase for Arsenal, and hopefully it won't be the case next year that we're in this same kind of situation. So I truly believe that, you know, if we can get to December, January, and we're within that top 6 shout, we keep Arteta on, we get those new players in this summer to help us achieve that, and then we push on for the rest of the season. And maybe we'll be doing this video this time next year, saying, fantastic, top 6, we're back in Europe, and the squad's looking better for it. However, it does not mean that I have forgiven what's happened this season. It's been laughable at times. It has been a very, very disappointing time as an Arsenal fan. As I said, probably the lowest point in my 21, 22 years of supporting this club. Obviously, I was very young at the time, and when I first supported Arsenal back in 2000, 2001, we were just on the edge of becoming arguably one of the best teams in Premier League history. We went on to win unbeaten, invincible. You know, it was an incredible era, and obviously the lows then started to come as I grew up with the team. But now, you know, I'm 28 years old and I have not experienced anything quite like this season. Even though we finished with more points, it still feels like it's been a massive failure this season. I think it just goes to show that not only have we been inconsistent in terms of having those 3 months in between the season when we just lost pretty much every game. It felt like we scored 1 every 4. We didn't improve enough with the other teams. Everyone else has improved in general. I haven't really spoke about the relegation zone teams. Sheffield United, West Brom and Fulham all going down, failing to achieve even 30 points. I don't know. Sheffield United, I think they've been relegated since December, I would say. West Brom, I'm kind of sad about because they're a great club. And although I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Allardyce, it was Arsenal that actually relegated them just a few weeks ago. I just have a bad feeling that West Brom might not be back for a while. I don't know. It's a tough one. But really, the biggest one for me is Fulham. I'm gutted that Fulham are going down. Scott Parker, I think he's doing a great job there. He's sticking with his guns. He's playing attractive, attacking football as far as I can tell with Fulham. They're not changing the way they play too much. They're just sticking with what the manager wants. And that's great to see. I think Scott Parker should stay there and they'll come back. I honestly believe Fulham are a Premier League team. They should be in the Premier League. As for Burnley, Brighton, Southampton and Crystal Palace avoiding being in that relegation zone towards the end of the season, that was a bit of a blessing, wasn't it? What's happened to Wolves? Unbelievable. Nuno leaving. I think he is going to go to Tottenham, but something's happened at Wolves. I know obviously losing Jota was bad, and Doherty was such an important player for them the season before. Arsenal fan that went to Tottenham, by the way. And of course, Jimenez with the head injury. I don't know. I dread to think how much better they would have been with him in the team. It's one of those things, isn't it? Newcastle, by the way, finishing in 12th. Fair play. Willock, 7 goals in 7 games. Guess the only other player to do that for Newcastle? Alan Shearer. You've got Alan Shearer and Willock. Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? What would you guys do with Willock? Do we play him next season? Is he better than Smith Rowe? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. I don't know what I would do. What I want to do in the future is a video talking about what I would do with the Arsenal squad. You know, when I do those kind of buy, keep, sell, or release, I guess, videos. I might do one of those in the coming weeks. I think it's just a huge summer for Arsenal. We've got to get it right. This is a transitional phase within the transitional phase. If we get this wrong, it's over. You know, the other teams are going to spend big. They're going to improve. We have to be backed by the Cronkays. We all want them out. Josh was at the stadium. They were chanting, "We want Kroenke out." The thing is, right, if they back the team, if they back the manager and put serious money in, then I guess we have to just be happy with that. We don't have to accept them. We don't have to accept them as owners and say they've done a great job for us, because they haven't. But if they back us this summer and we do get back into the top 6, then we have to accept it and maybe be a bit grateful, a little bit at least, because it's a massive risk. You know, these guys, I know they've got so much money and some of it's like pocket money to them, but still, to invest hundreds of millions into a club that could just flop, it is a bit of a risk. But it's simply not good enough from the Cronkays over the last years, and there's no bigger time than now for them to get some money into the club. You know, we need it. COVID situation hasn't helped, so I'm expecting minimum 100 million to 150 million spent on this squad. It needs it badly. But anyway, you've been looking at the table this entire video. Who has been the standout team or the standout teams? For me, West Ham finishing in 6th is incredible. It could have been more, but still very, very good. Leeds in ninth is absolutely fantastic. They're a newly promoted side and they finished 2 points off Arsenal. That's really quite incredible. And again, sad for Fulham. Really, really sad for Fulham. But big season next year, guys. Why don't we get our predictions in? What is the top 6 going to look like next season? I'm going to call it now. Arsenal will finish in 6th. I think we're going to go one step further, well, technically 2 steps further next season than we have this season, and we will get European football. As for Operation Arsenal, that is it until next season, pre-season. Of course, the series is going nowhere. It's just there's no Arsenal games. I'm going to be doing transfer videos. I'm going to be talking about new signings and player sales and things like that. But it's another season done. I've been doing Operation Arsenal for 4 seasons straight, and I haven't missed a game. That takes dedication. I really hope you guys enjoy these videos. They don't get anywhere near as many views as my career mode content, and that's fine. I understand that, but it takes a lot of dedication. And with my streaming, I've done a watch-along since last March, every single game. It's pretty insane if you think about it. I haven't missed one. So a massive thank you to anyone that supported me along the Operation Arsenal season, and it won't be too long before we're back. I'm hoping for a strong pre-season, some good signings, and as I said, we go again.